statistically a cancer cure rate of 1 to 3%, and that only means people lived 5 years after the diagnosis. I have a proven cancer cure rate of 92.3% based on independent studies done. And these are cured people, they're not living 5 years.
Yeah.
When I hear remission, I could throw up. There's no such thing as remission. You're cured, you have cancer, or you're cured. You're healthy or you're not healthy. There's nothing in the middle.
Prove to me that you are alive.
Bomb. What's really good, everybody? Welcome to the one, to the only Prove to Me That You're Alive Lightcast. That's a podcast. I'm your host, NazareN. I'm supposed to say that because it looks better for the Google search. I'm going to skip all the spiffy and all the cool intros as we do usually today. Today we have the sharpest man in the room. Today we have the most impactful voice in the building. You know, he's always the most honest. He's always the most brilliant, but he's always the most humane person that you will ever meet. He's been a number one bestseller more than a Bible, man. A lot of times, which is mind blowing within itself. And when you meet this wonderful human being, you are shocked of how humble he is, how down to earth he is, because you know that you are standing in the presence of, something special, something beautiful, something godly. And yet he comes down and he's here, and he's here to talk to us. He's here to spread the spirit. I really wanted to get him in here today so we can round up the year and he can wish us, a motivating good year for the next year. So of course I'm talking about the one, the only, the always stylish, the always spiffy, the always on point, the one and only Dr. Coldwell. I'm gonna give him a round of applause as always. How are you today, brother? How are you feeling?
That's my brother. Thank you so much for having me again. It was a very interesting year. We had all of us had a lot of hope, a lot of disappointments, and in the political realm, and we are trying to survive our life right now. I think all of us, because we have all these problems with the inflation, finances, and all the lies from the politicians, all the disappointments from the politicians. So it's kind of like time that we start looking forward again. And your show is always the best platform to give people hope and help and support if any necessary, any possible. And we all need to stick together. We are heading for Christmas, and I think it's a good time to connect to the people that are important to us. If you haven't spoken to friends, family in a while, it's time to call them or invite them or meet them for Christmas or a New Year's party. But it's time to connect. There is safety in numbers, my dear friends. And it's very, very important that you really understand success is always a result of effective team play. My brother Naz knows about that. He is one of the greatest team players I know. He is a really good friend, and he is trustworthy and reliable. And there are not many people like him out there. So whenever and however you can support him, please do, because people like Naz are very, very rare. And let's all just really focus on what we want to do, how we want our life to be. I'm so tired of everybody whining and complaining, and Charlie Kirk got killed. Okay, that was a while ago, and I really don't want to hear about it anymore for a lot of reasons. But the main point is now we want to hear from you. What are your plans? What are you going to do? How are you going to make your life better? What exactly are you doing to make your life better? I have exciting news for myself. My book, The Only Answer to Success, You're Born to Be a Champion, is going to republished by a huge publisher. It might take another 3 to 4 months, but it's going to be updated. It's going to be more exciting, and was my goal for this year, to get this book, which is one of the most loved books out there, because after I learned from a Harvard University study, we all have heard 184,000 times up to the age of 18, no, you cannot do that. That's impossible. Everybody else but not you. You're too small, you're too big, you're too tall, you're whatsoever. And I'm out there to tell you 184,001 times, yes, of course you can. You are born to be a champion. You are born to be somebody. God does not create junk, and you're not born to be mediocre. You're born to be a very special human being. And we all need to learn to find the right people, stick together, and listen to your instinct. If you have a good feeling with somebody, stick with them. If you have a bad feeling, just drop them. Your instinct will always be right. Your instinct is God talking to you. And that's why my system is called the instinct-based medicine system. And it's also named the cure for life. What we want to cure here with this program is our life, our thinking, our pain, our suppression of needs and dreams. It needs to all change. We need to get more dreams. Inflammation in any form of negativity in our life, every pain, every illness, every little pain, big pain, doesn't matter, will go away if we focus on a pain-free, happy life. And let's do this together today, because this is what we're here for. Nazare's program is a program of hope and help. And take the hope, take the help, and start believing in yourself. Make a big list for Christmas or New Year's of the ones that have to go. There are negative energy drainers in all of our lives, people that make you feel bad about yourself, or people when you talk to them on the phone and you hang up, you feel like drained, you feel tired and exhausted and in a bad mood. These people need to go. You cannot win the Olympics in swimming with a block around your neck. And if you focus on inflation, yeah, we have inflation, but you don't need to focus on it. What do you have to do with the inflammation for others? The way to live right now is to live in the moment. Be happy in the moment. Get up, get to your mirror, look into your mirror, look into your eyes and say, wow, I am somebody. And this is how we start the day today. I mean, it's not the morning, but let's restart today. Like they are reborn Christians, let's be reborn champions. And let all the negativity behind us, don't focus on this anymore. Yes, Trump promised us everything, kept nothing. Don't focus on it. Just hope that at least he gets something done of what he promised us. I don't want to make this political, because our life should be happy and fun and positive. And to make it as positive as possible, you need to do what you want to do for yourself. Make a list and write down, if I could have everything I want, if I could do everything I want to do right now with no limitations, what would it be? Write it down and keep on reading this list 3, 4, 5 times a day. We are here in possibility thinking. Positive thinking is not necessarily the right thing, because you need to positive act. If you are positive thinking, you need to have positive action. You cannot just positive thinking. You cannot say, I'm rich, but but you're not doing anything to get rich, then you will never be rich. You have to do your part and find the right kind of people, support the right kind of people, support us, and I'm very positive about our future. I think the next year, with so many people are awake, so many people survived uh, the deadly shot that the governments of the world pumped into all of us. I mean, not me. I was never willing to take the death shot, but we
Yeah.
need to literally um, look forward to possibilities, forward to chances. And I personally was working on the entire year and working on helping people from all the poisons, all the toxicity. We have all these poisons in us, and the people that got the death shot, they needed the most. Recreated a cleansing system that I have on the market for over 40 years, and it's called the Be Pure Cleansing System. And the website is just getting ready today or tomorrow. The website is championcleanse.com, and look at it. It's a full body, every single cell, full body cleanse with a colon cleanse added to it, and it will help you to get a restart in the new year, because you have to be clean to cure, to help, to heal, to be cured. And I seem to have some problems speaking today because I'm thinking in German. I was just on a humongous German live TV show, and from speaking so much German right now, I'm thinking in German and try to speak in English. I hope it's not that bad. But we all need to be happy, and we need to be happy right now, not tomorrow. You cannot change the past. Forget the past. It's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. It's gone. It's done and over with. But my little son just learned to say done when he is done with his milk, when he is done with eating, when he is done with whatever. He learned to say done. And when it's completely done, then he says all done. And then there's nothing I can get into him anymore when after he says all done. So let's say all done to our past, to all the negativity, not the positive things. Our past shaped us and made us. That's normal. And we have to learn. I hope we all learned. Some of us are just not the big learners, and they have to repeat their mistakes over and over again until they finally learn. But I'm imagining, since you are a viewer of Naza's show, that you are a different person. You are a doer. You are somebody that wants to change. That are somebody that wants to be happy and healthy. And so it's kind of like it starts with our expectations. If we expect to be successful and happy and healthy, that's where we're going to go. Our expectations give our life a direction. So let's expect that this radio show, this TV show, will change your life. Now, brother,
That, that's amazing. Sorry. I think my mic started to go a little bit. You know what I wanted to say? Thank you so much for saying all of that. And I wanted to say this from the bottom of my heart, that when I finally decided to do the Prove to Me That Your Life podcast, and we have multiple other podcasts, when I finally decided to do it professionally, meaning we opened up the media company, I started to think of who would I want to invite on the podcast that have been very impactful, that I've seen their work. I've seen their actual work, working. And I reached out to Dr. Coldwell, and I thought to myself, well, I'm just reaching out online, so I don't know if he's going to respond. He's so busy, he's so huge, he's so big. Like, why would he come and do a brand new show and brand new podcast? And I just wanted to say this from the bottom of my heart, that Dr. Coldwell, you were the first, huge celebrity person that responded. You were kind enough to spare your time to come in to talk, and you blessed the podcast, because after we've been blessed enough to do some of the biggest interviews in the world, some of the most impactful people. And I always say that it's because of the golden touch of Dr. Coldwell is why we went this way. But that first interview with you, that first conversation, I don't even want to call it an interview, has always been the most memorable one, the most important one, because again, you were the godfather, you were the blessing. And I just want to say, besides, you doing such kind things for people, doing something, so kind for all of us, you also put out a app, a IBMS USA app. And I just want to say that that app is remarkable within itself. My wife, listens to it all the time. It helps her a lot. Your book, The Only Answer to Cancer. I lost a brother of mine this year from cancer. He was 50 years old. But then um, another friend of mine, his father, got diagnosed. And the first thing I said is like, look, go on Amazon, go get this book. He went and got this book, and it completely changed the way his father, was thinking. It completely changed the levels of his motivation. And I just want to say these things, to say that that this is real, that this is, something that works, that this is something that comes from the hard work, but yet from the heart of Dr. Coldwell. And this is why this is so impactful. So Dr. Coldwell, on behalf of all these people, on behalf of myself, I again want to say thank you so much. You are a blessing and a gift. I want to ask you, because you're a person that you never ever complain. You're always looking good. You're smiling. But I know that you face challenges. So maybe because you don't talk about this enough, but because of your work, you are constantly being attacked and fought against from the powers that be. I don't like to call them elites. I don't like to even say powers that be, because someone like you is an elite. The forces within you are the elite forces. But I wanted to ask you if you can maybe share with us some of the struggles of your journey from this year, and how do you come out of those struggles and find it in yourself to keep going. Thank you.
The main thing is, Nada, the challenges are there for us to grow. My grandmother was a very religious person. She always said, God does not give you a cross that is heavier than you can bear, but it will not be lighter either. And you get stronger with every step you bear your cross. And I just think God has a lot of trust in me by giving me all these challenges. I had people trying to ruin me financially since I was a teenager, since I cured my mother from liver cancer in a terminal state. And we went public with the documentation that she got completely cured with the prognosis of 6 months to live. And she lived 48 years after that, completely healthy. And I always looked at the successes of good deeds. I was able to cure so many cancer patients that if I look back, whenever I'm sad, whenever I get attacked, I had 500 hits a day on Facebook, and Facebook just wiped this page out completely, just made it disappear with 500,000 hits a day. And then we got all these troll squads. I know the the New World Order guys, the globalists, they hired 1,000 people to always make negative posts. If I post something, to post something negative about it or to attack me. And I just won a lawsuit against Wikipedia, which is a huge defamation site. And so what I've been through, I have had 8 attempts on my life. I had people that called my offices and threatened my life or the life of my employees. We had boycotts, meaning we had huge seminars with 10,000 attendees that were canceled 5 minutes before the seminar started. The hotel said, we cannot have you give the seminar. We have too much problems. They don't want you to talk about that cancer is curable in 12 days, which it is, and that every cancer patient is curable. And this is it's a message they do not want you to spread, and we cannot have you have your event today. So imagine there's 10,000 people waiting for the seminar basically to start. And then my secretary had to go on stage and say, based on the hotel, we have to vacate the room. We cannot give the seminar today because there's just too much pressure on the management. Then we had, whenever a new book came out, I have 25 mega best-selling books, up to 29 languages on the market. And if you understand that I have never had any negativity about my books or in my books, and then they run these huge defamation campaigns where you kind of like get really sad, even if you know it's all lies, nothing is true. But it was more that my mother was reading or hearing the lies they tried to spread about me, so people do not buy my books. I mean, The Only Answer to Cancer is the most sold health book of all times, 900 million books sold. And my new one, The Only Cancer Patient Cure, if I haven't sent you the PDF yet, I'm going to send it right when we stop here. I don't understand. I give my knowledge away for free. I have been on live TV. They try to discredit me, 2 medical professors and 7 medical doctors. And they said it's all BS. Cancer has nothing to do with your attitude. Cancer has nothing to do with diet or with your energy level. Cancer is just a genetic inherited disease. And I always said that's completely absurd, because my mom had cancer, my father died of cancer, my sister had cancer, all 7 siblings of my mom died of cancer. And I'm 67 years old, I don't have cancer, I don't get cancer. So if cancer would be inherited, I would be the guy who would have had it. Even all 68 of my nieces and cousins and so on died of cancer. So my entire line of family got wiped out by cancer, and I can guarantee you cancer is not an inherited disease. You can inherit conditions like having a bad gallbladder, stuff like this, but it doesn't mean if you live the right way that it ever will hurt you or come true. And what they did to me is I had a huge hospital in Germany. I had originally a hospital in British Columbia in Canada for stress-related illness, management syndrome, and burnout syndrome. And that got shut down for no reason. Just the banks just cut off our loans. They just said, we paid always on time, and they said, you have to give us the money back right now, or we shut down the hospital, which they did shut down. And the same thing happened to me in Germany. Then I had an ionized oxygen chamber, and it was completely legitimate, it was completely licensed, it was professionally installed. And all of a sudden, there were 8 police cars full with people, with police officers with machine guns raiding my doctor's office and my hospital. And that was front page on the local newspaper. Dr. Coldwell's clinic raided, and they showed all these people with the machine guns. And for an oxygen chamber that was completely licensed and legitimate, and there was nothing wrong with it, and never anything happened with it. But the negative press got to the point where all the people that basically were booked for treatment canceled their treatment. The people that knew me never canceled anything. It's just people that were new or coming on recommendations that canceled, and I had to pay 48 employees, nurses, doctors, secretaries, naturopaths that were working for me, and I paid them no matter what, if money came in or not. And this is the damage they constantly did to me. They stopped me in the middle of the night with my car, and they said, "We're going to search the entire car." They undid the seats and basically ripped the entire car out, put everything on the street, and left me standing there. And there was a time before cell phones, so there was no way to call for help. And these kind of things happen to me all the time. That I tried to get into a seminar, into my own seminar, where they said, you have no right to get in, you're banned from this event hotel, you cannot get in here. And they didn't let me in. I found a way to get in, but it is all really, really hard on you, most of all on your loved ones. And but my mom and my brother and my sister never blinked. They never doubted me and were always on my side and supporting me. But it is just really what I cannot understand is I give away how to cure cancer patients for free. Nobody needs to pay me for this. If I get speeches, I have it all on I had 90 billion views on my cancer cure videos.
Prove to me that you are alive.
The video "Cancer Can Be Cured in Weeks" had 77 million views. And they were real views. It's not like today people get on all these
Bots.
websites, and it's kind of like more people click on their video and then they count it as somebody's watching it. It's not really true. It's semi-fake. But I had real viewers, people that looked it up, that watched the entire videos. And then I got up to 3.8 billion views on my videos when YouTube started to delete all of my videos that had to do explaining for free how to cure cancer patients or how to have a better life. And then you have all these fake fact checkers, which are nobodies, and people that have no knowledge about my issues or my knowledge or my work, then taking the videos off, saying it's an unproven statement to mislead people. So this really hurts, Nana. I cured 66,000 patients with autoimmune diseases, 35,000 cancer patients provenly, and 1.6 million people cured themselves. We know this from thank you videos, from emails where people were thanking me that they cured themselves with the knowledge of my books and my seminars and my videos from cancer or other autoimmune diseases. It's like multiple sclerosis, MS. Is an easy to fix problem if you're really willing to do whatever it takes. And I have proven that I can cure cancer patients in 12 to 13 days. And it doesn't matter what kind of cancer, cancer is cancer anyway. Now we have the turbo cancers from the shots that they forced people to get. And that's why I invented the champion cleanse. It's basically the Be Pure cleansing system. The Be Pure cleansing system is so effective that the German customs did not let it into Germany, saying it is so effective. It is basically, we have to treat it as a prescription medication because people get cured from the strangest diseases just by doing this cleansing program, and they didn't let it into Germany anymore. And this has happened to me all the time, that or I was harassed that, when I got into Germany every 3 months to give my seminars and to train people as IBMS coaches and IBMS therapists. They tried everything to make it really, really uncomfortable for me to go into Europe, into Germany mainly. And but that didn't really bother me. Really, it is just really hurtful when you have people like my mom waiting for me, standing at the airport and waiting for me to arrive and come in. She knows that the plane has landed, but then they still took 3-4 hours in questioning me about the absurdest things, and looked at all my websites while I was sitting there and asked me unqualified, stupid, primitive questions with a smirk in their face and saying, "So you think you can cure cancer, huh?" I said, "I don't think so. I know so, and I can prove it, and I have proven it." But then you have idiots in the press lying. I won 248 defamation lawsuits the last 2 years, and the last one against Wikipedia. And from now on, they have to pay me $250,000 for every time they spread any lies or defamation about me. And it's a precedent. I was, I believe, the first one that ever won a defamation lawsuit against Wikipedia. And then all the money. See, what they do is, if you have to defend yourself for an unfounded claim or some kind of a fake lawsuit, even if you win, you don't get your money back. I paid millions and millions and millions of dollars in my life to defend myself from fake accusations and lawsuits. And I could have used this money for my Cancer Patient Advocate Foundation. If you want to look it up, the website is cancerpatientadvocatefoundation.com. And I invested $47 million of my own money into my foundation to help people that didn't have the money or the knowledge or the possibilities to go somewhere worldwide and get treated or cured from their ailments. And we do this on a yearly basis for free, or when we have specific people. I'm going to start giving seminars again, which they basically cut me off In Europe, they completely cut me off giving seminars about cures or cancer cures or anything that has to do with health. And they always waited until we had all the expenses. We paid the seminar rooms. We paid for all the flights for the employees. And when everything was done and the money was spent, they blocked me. And then I lost another million or two. And so basically, they are constantly trying to destroy me mentally, emotionally, because you can be as strong as you want to. And I know I'm right, and I know I can cure cancer patients in 12 days. But when it's ongoing and constant, and we have new employees, and they call and say, "Oh, you work for this group, dude, we're going to kill you too, and we're going to kill all of you." And then you have these wonderful people working for me, full of excitement and happy to help, and they see the patient coming in looking sad and worn out and sick and afraid of dying, and they leave with hope. Or they come the 12th day and they're basically cured. They have their government file under their arm from a government hospital. Here, should look at my x-rays. I'm completely cancer-free. I'm cured. And so these people are so positive working with me, and then they have to endure death threats and, or when you come out of the clinic today, we're going to wait for you, and these kind of things. This is really what really, really hurts. And yes, I got shot at, my car has been bombed, and then they smuggled a painter into my house while I was renovating it that poured poison into the iced tea in the fridge. It's kind of like really sad that for somebody that has never done anything wrong, and believe me, if I would ever had done anything wrong, the mass media paid off newspapers or media would have been on it and all over the place with it. But they could never find anything because I have never done anything wrong. And the only thing I'm doing is to disturbing the $300 billion cancer industry, because if the patients come to us, meaning my IBMS coaches or my IBMS therapists that I trained personally to help people with cancer, the entire cost for all of everything is for my coaches $3,900, which is basically nothing against what one chemotherapy cost, or the $300 billion that they are swallowing every year from the suffering, the pain, and dying from patients. The thing is, I have the cures, they have nothing. If you think about the 100 years that they are searching for the cancer cures, that they are forbidding cancer cures, that they're destroying great people like Dr. Royal Rife or Dr. Gerson with the Gerson therapy, that he had to flee to Mexico. Dr. Royal Rife was finally killed with the Rife machine. And he just cured people right and left, sometimes in minutes with frequency. And what he got was constantly arrested. His office got set on fire multiple times. And they're basically trying with me. I'm working on creating a health society. My system is called IBMS, Instinct-Based Medicine System. And in Europe, I have the IBMS Master Society with 198,000 members. And we are a real force there. We can really do something. We can really change things and also have political influence. I'm going to start in America with the IBMS MS USA, also IBMS Master Society USA, IBMS MS USA, and we are forming a big group here in the US and Canada too, so that we can support each other, and members get personal consultations from me for free. And we're going to have every 6 months a free seminar for members, teaching them everything I learned. And the main problem really is we have these I have millions and millions of email addresses. And there are these criminal corporations that we paid for every month, every year, to store our email addresses and send the newsletters and information out to the people we have in these newsletter files. And then they all of a sudden said, no, this is false information, we're not sending it out. And they even deleted millions of email addresses in our newsletter application bank. So the main thing they did to me, NASA, was making me tired from being excited to cure people, help people to get cured, and spreading the word for free, how you can be happy, healthy, and successful with the IBMS system. That I'm tired of getting the doubt from people that are excited when they got connected to the program. They love it, they understand it, they create success. Professor Dr. Lange, the head of the Charité, the most famous university in Europe, in Berlin, he says, my colleague Dr. Coldwell is the only speaker that leaves you with something. Other motivational speakers, they do the rah, rah, rah speeches, and then they leave you alone, and 3 days later, you drop in a deeper hole than you've ever been before. But with Dr. Coldwell, because he gives you tools, he gives you something for yourself, you get better, better, and better every day. And he's the only speaker that really gives you something for life. And then I had Professor Dr. Michael Jordan from the University of Munich, all of a sudden sending me an email saying, thank you, Dr. C. I had prostate cancer. It was really bad. I used your system and your techniques, and I'm completely cured. Nobody else besides me has these kind of success or this kind of proof. And these are not just people like so many people pay somebody off for a good comment, which I think this is really a bad thing to do things like that. And we have friends all over the world. It's like with you. We have friends all over the world, real friends, because they know who I am, what I stand for, and we are sticking together. And since our world is going really, really down, it's important to have people you can rely on, you can trust, and there is strength in numbers. And people are interested in what we are doing. If you go to ibmsmsusa.com, you can become a member there. But also my main website, Dr. spelled out, drleonardcoldwell.com, you get from there to everything. There's also our former interview shows with Naz. And we are really, to answer your question, the horrible things they did to me is to take my time away that I could have spent curing people, saving people, teaching people. This is a horrible thing that they did to me. I had a horrible divorce 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where they took basically everything I had. And I had to restart so often in my life that people don't understand why I'm still there. Why is he still standing? Why is he still, doing this? Why is he not shutting up? Didn't we teach him how to behave and what not to say and what not to do? But it's like, see, with you, you light my life. You're an angel. You're an angel to me. You see what I'm doing, you recognize what I'm doing, you understand, and you value what I'm doing. And this weighs off all the attacks and the false accusations. And mainly the mainstream media, which now lost every single lawsuit,
Yeah.
they got away with it for such a long time, and then they grind you down. And then you have success, and then you help people to get healthy and happy and successful. And then you have these people writing, yeah, but it's all bullshit. This is all theoretical. This is all you cannot touch it. It's all energetic. It's all positive thinking, which is not. It's positive thinking and positive acting in the right way. And that's why I have in all of my books, I have a goal setting workshop. If you don't have goals, you don't know where you're going, and you have nothing to strive for, and you have no measurement to measure your success. You need to do a goal setting workshop every 3 months. And if your goals don't change, you haven't changed, you haven't grown. But with goals, you give your life a direction. It's very, very important, my dear friends. And it's so important to be positive about yourself. Yes, you can do everything. I can guarantee you, I give you my word, you can do everything. There's nothing you cannot achieve, nothing you cannot do. I was really, really poor. My parents were refugees, had to flee from Russia. And when they arrived, my grandmother with her 7 children, and completely, her legs were completely open from inflammation and infection. She couldn't barely walk, but got all her children through the Second World War and into safety. So there are angels out there like there are demons out there. And I don't even mean this in a metaphysical way. I mean, they're real demons. They're real evil people. They're evil people. They're pedophiles. They are not just mentally ill. They are evil. And there are people out there that get fun out of destroying other people's happiness and luck and success. And basically, I lost $107 million with legal fees that had no basis, but I had to still pay it. And then there are courts where you cannot defend yourself, or you have to take a lawyer. The lawyers knows that, and they're so outrageously expensive. And I also learned along the way, the most crooked people in the world are lawyers and doctors. And it's a group of people that get paid no matter of the success, if you have success or not. If they cure you or not, they get paid. If they represent you in court right and you get to your right or not, they get paid. And this doesn't give them any incentive to really step up for you. And we have Robert Kennedy Jr. now, was the first politician I have ever known that really, really is trying to change our health situation worldwide forever. I'm very sad that I talked to him once in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, and I told him, I can cure your voice. If you want me to, I don't want to have anybody knowing I did this. I don't want any money. I don't want any recognition, any fame. I'm famous enough, and I can cure your voice. And his only question was, how many people like me did you already cure or have? Instead of saying, how do you want to do this, or let's try. I can do this in 3 hours. In 3 hours, his voice would be fixed and completely normal and healthy. They all say he cannot become president because of his voice. People don't want to hear that voice all day long. And but I'm really sad that I have people that offer me $1 million to treat them personally, but they want me to fly into their countries and stuff like this, which I wouldn't do to begin with. I'm not leaving America right now, and so I offer him to do this for free with no strings attached. And I also gave him my book, The Only Cancer Patient Cure. I don't know if he ever read it, but I still see what he is doing, and that he is an honest, good man, and he's really trying hard to help America, actually help the entire world to get healthier and take the dangers out of our food supply or out of our water, the fluoride, for example. I cannot even understand how people can be against making our world happier and healthier and more poison-free. It's to me, it's not understandable. And stopping children from getting mutilated with these transgender surgeries. How can anybody be against this? And it is so strange to me that it's always the Democrats who are on the side of evil, on the side of negativity, on the bad stuff, and fighting good changes, positive changes. What can you gain, most of all as a politician in office, by being against positive changes in the health system? We all know by now. I wrote a book long time ago, How to Survive Your Illness and Your Doctor. And that's where I already basically showed the dangers of vaccines and how absurd all of this is. But this book was one of the most fought books of all of my 25 mega best-selling books. And people didn't even read it, just the title, How to Survive Your Illness and Your Doctor. And I really mean this. It's hard to survive your doctor, it's hard to survive your medical profession. And then the only answer to cancer, now in up to 29 different languages, was unstoppable. It was very interesting. There were some some good forces behind all of this, keeping this book alive and making it a mega success. It's still selling on Amazon. And I didn't even know it was on Amazon until people were writing me. Okay. I try to always tell the truth, because lies always come out, and when people lost trust in you, it's really hard to regain it. And if you think about it, I have billions of thank you emails and letters and video testimonials where people thank me and trust me and believe in me. There's nothing I would do to ever risk this, because this I'm the most proud of. That I have real friends like you, people who believe in me and trust me, and this is the most important thing to me. And when people in my seminars came up to my mom and thanked her for having such a great son or having raised me in the right way, the pride that my mom experienced, you could tell all over her face, and the happiness that came out of this is something it's really worth working for. And I think if I have a couple of friends that go into politics, and if they get where they want to go, I can change the entire healthcare system in America in 3 to 6 months, and I can get down nobody needs to pay money for health insurance anymore because there will not be illness if they let me implement my IVMS system in the school curriculums, the universities, the colleges, or just let me teach on TV how to get and stay healthy. Then all of this, I mean, all the billions they gave to the American Cancer Society for cancer research, and then they are just basically the guard dogs for the FTC and the AMA and all these three-letter organizations that do not have your best interest in mind. The FDA should be completely outlawed. Just go back to everything. If it says FDA approved, everything that's FDA approved that caused death of people or mass death of people, they should be held liable for murder or attempted murder for that. And basically everybody that's violating the Constitution while in office should be instantly be relieved from his office and put into jail. And if you harm somebody with your power of office, or they get killed because of you and your actions, you should go to jail for life. I think there shouldn't be any mercy, but we now all want justice. And that's why President Trump lost 2/3 of his support in statistics, because he doesn't keep his promises. He made all these wonderful promises and then he didn't keep anything, or he tried and then he ran into some resistance, which was expected, and then he gave up on it, as it looks like. But he still can do it. I still believe he's the only one we have that can do it. I don't trust him, but that's a different story. That's my personal issue, because I've seen too many bad things happening or good things not happening that could have happened. And it's about time that he wakes up and he starts fighting back and puts all these people in jail that were destroying our country under Biden or with Biden. And because if they get back in power, and they will, they put everybody good in jail. Everybody was fighting for Trump or for freedom, for health, will end up in jail if they get back into office again. And there will be a lame duck president if he lost the midterm, and then he is there where he was the very first time, getting nothing done, because I don't know if he's just too afraid, or he's just too interested in only making money now that he lost the first term around, or making money for his family. And he kind of like lost the steam and the trust in wanting to change America for the better, because he can. He had good ideas. He made good promises. He didn't keep anything. So what I am most concerned about right now is Trump had the chance to save us all, to get us justice, to put the evil ones into jail, and he didn't do it, and he will pay the price. Not that I wish him any bad, because I think they just destroyed him over time. I think he's a good person, and he got destroyed by all the attacks. I know this from myself. You can only handle that much. And I cannot imagine like him getting up in the morning and reading about 1,500 insults, lies about him every single morning. And I had enough for my entire life already in insults and mainly dumb people. The main people that assault positive change or information are dumb people, really literally dumb people, low IQ people, because if you would think, they would understand, I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for your children, I'm doing it for your grandchildren. I'm doing it for our country. I'm doing it for our future. So just because your IQ is below 100, it doesn't give you the right to try to destroy the opportunities for better people too. You can do whatever you want or not do whatever you want. I don't even understand when people listen to radio shows or TV shows and then have bad comments. So if you don't like it, why do you go there? Why do you listen to these people that you don't like, that you hate, and you just want to be important by trying to make a negative comment? Nobody reads this stuff anymore anyway because they're now AI generated. There will be AI generated trolling for certain people like me, where you automatically get negative posts and assaults and insults. Nobody's believing this kind of stuff anymore anyway. And Zig Ziglar, my the very first person I really learned from, he said, nobody ever created a statue for a critic. And do something better. Stop talking negative about other people. Just go out there and do it yourself and do it better. Trying to bring people down. I mean, there are some idiots out there in social media that shouldn't be out there, but on the other hand, who am I to say some people don't have the right to spread their stupidities? The only thing I don't understand is why do they get away with asking for violence, asking for murder, and get away with it? These are the things our entire country is upset about. And we need justice. You have to have justice to have freedom. And so everybody is against the Second Amendment or gun rights is an idiot, because if Americans wouldn't have 300 million guns, we would already have communism here in America. And the government is just afraid of taking over violently because they can't, because Americans will fight back. They're at the point where they are really fed up. It's very interesting how many people I know that always said, oh, it's not that bad, the government would never do anything against us, now saying, no, now we need to start acting, we need to come together, we need to have the next real American Revolution. And war is not a solution either. I mean, I'm a person, I will fight back with everything I can. Somebody attacks me and I fight back. I was 9 years in a row world champion in full contact martial arts. 36 years of martial arts, and I will always fight back, and I will never lose a fight. I will always come back until I win. I might not start the fight, but I will end the fight. And our entire country is ready now of ending the BS. They're all done with it. And if Trump doesn't really now start working on making his promises come true, he will not be there longer anymore. And I don't wish him any ill, but I don't really think he will make it through the last 4 years in office if he doesn't build a strong wall, a strong power to protect him, and to get rid of the CIA and the FBI and rebuild everything. He doesn't have a long future. This is not even possible. I have seen a lot in my life, and I cannot see a future for Trump if he doesn't get rid of these organizations that killed John F. Kennedy or are responsible for millions and millions or billions of deaths by preventing cancer patients from knowing about the easy and simple truth about cures, and that they can get cured in 12 days, or murdering them with vaccines. And all of this negativity needs to stop. We need to live, and we need to be left alone. And by now, many people know that basically taxes are illegal. Our governor, Ron DeSantis, said property tax are unconstitutional and illegal, and he's going to get rid of it, which will get even more people into Florida, and we really have enough people here already. But there is no law that people have to pay taxes, and a lot of people are waking up. There's, I think, 38 million non-filers that legally do not file their tax return and do not pay any taxes to the federal government. And all of this is a part of all this huge conspiracy against humanity. The genocide with the COVID shot, and I think everybody knows by now, thanks to Dr. Brian Ardis, that there were snake venom in the shot. The venom of the king cobra snake and the great snake from India. That's what they injected into people's ass and called it vaccine. People still dying from the vaccine. If you see all these videos or movies like Sudden Death or all the new ones that are coming out, with all the proof that they did it. I don't even understand why nobody from the government that was behind the genocide, the globally organized genocide, is in jail now or indicted even. The opposite is true in Germany. They indict you and put you into jail for telling the truth and pointing out that all these millions of people died or got permanently damaged from the COVID shot. And if you tell the truth about some political issues, they put you in jail too. They told me if I would ever come back to Germany, I will never leave, at least not alive. So we will see what's going to happen next time I go there. But basically, Nazar, to answer your question, what they did to me is they destroyed my enthusiasm to help to heal the world. This is basically what they did with all the assaults and taking my contracts away, taking my money away, and with illegal lawsuits. See, I winning all these lawsuits. I still have to pay $6,000 for my lawyer because I don't get the money back after I won. And so if you have hundreds of lawsuits and you have to pay the lawyer, and even after you won another $6,000, then even winning is no fun anymore. But I will keep on fighting for you guys. If you just understand, I'm fighting for you. The main thing I did, and the website might not be completely functional and ready today, but it will be in the next couple of days. Start your new year with a completely cleaned body with the Be Pure cleansing system. Go to championcleanse.com and order the Be Pure cleansing system 2.0. So you cannot heal if the body has toxemia or acidosis. You cannot be acidic and you cannot be toxic, poisoned, and then heal from arthritis, from pain, from cancer. It's not possible. Otto Warburg and Max Planck got a Nobel Prize in medicine by proving cancer cannot exist in an oxygen-rich, alkaline environment. Alkaline means a pH from 7.36. So if on the pH scale goes from 0 to 14, 7 is neutral, 7.36 is what your blood pH is, otherwise you die. This is what your entire body should be. Then you're not tired anymore, then you are We have reports from males that had some kind of problems in the bedroom. After they got cleansed, they were like an 18-year-old again. And the energy level, many people lose a pound a day on the BPO cleansing system. But and on the other hand, it helps to support the Cancer Patient Advocate Foundation. My new book, Vaccination and Assault with a Deadly Weapon, is coming very, very shortly. We just didn't have the money because it has over 1,000 pages to print the book, and we are working on it now. And that's why I got the cleansing system out again, to get some financing for the Cancer Patient Advocate Foundation to publish the books. And we're going to send it also out as free books, as on electronic means. And I'm trying to get out as much information as possible, because the assaults and insults will never stop. And I really don't know how long I'm able to fight this fight with the same strength and enthusiasm that I originally had. And I'm going to start a champions meeting like I did in Europe once a year. I'm going to invite all my good friends and everybody that supported me over the years, even with being blocked by Facebook, by YouTube. YouTube are the biggest criminals in my experience in my life. If you go, there are some of my old websites where it says, here's the video, how to cure cancer. And then you click on it and it says this video is not available anymore. And the only reason is YouTube obviously wants you to die young, or to spend a lot of money on your illness or treating your pain and illness and not getting the information. See, I'm sure if everybody that could gotten my information for free that I had on YouTube, on Facebook, and so on at the right time, at least 90% of them wouldn't have died. And also, people would know about the dangers of chemotherapy, the dangers of radiation or any form of chemicals in your body, surgeries, even the customer creation systems like early detection hoaxes, like screenings, like breast cancer screenings, like colonoscopies. This is only there to create customers. The earlier they find something to treat you for, the earlier you die. Very simple. There is no cure. The cancer patient, the cancer industry, the medical industry has statistically a cancer cure rate of 1 to 3%, and that only means people lived 5 years after the diagnosis. I have a proven cancer cure rate of 92.3% based on independent studies done.
Yeah.
And these are cured people. They're not living 5 years.
Yeah.
When I hear remission, I could throw up. There's no such thing as remission. You're cured, you have cancer, or you're cured. You're healthy or you're not healthy. There's nothing in the middle. And they just want to keep the people in fear and running to the... they live from testing. They make more money with tests than with treatments. And if you get ever in the claws of the hospitals, you might die just because you are in a hospital and under their control. By the way, they cannot keep you. They act like they can keep you in a hospital. You just say against doctor's orders or against doctor's advice and just leave. They make you think you cannot leave until they let you go. It's completely not true. You're not in jail, and they have no power, no jurisdiction to keep you forcefully in a hospital or for forced treatments. Also, they can just fire the doctor treating you or the nurse and just tell them, you're fired, get me somebody else. Just stand up. The worst place to be if you are sick is a hospital. Of course, if you have an accident, we have the best of the best in restoration therapy. And of course, if you have a broken leg, you go to a doctor, you go into a hospital, you have it fixed. But if you have a so-called illness and you're treated in a hospital, it's like the COVID patients or so-called, there was never COVID, there is no such thing as a COVID virus. There are no viruses to begin with.
Yeah.
These are exosomes. These are the toxins that coming out of a healthy cell that they call virus. But there is no such thing as a virus. Virology is a criminal, fake science to just control you, make more money. But you don't need to be afraid of the bird flu, the swine flu, the whatever flu. You do not get sick from a thing called virus because there is no virus. And if you're alkaline and if you're oxygen rich, you don't get cancer. So Otto Warburg and Max Planck with their Nobel Prize. And if you want to support the Cancer Patient Advocate Foundation, please get Be Pure Cleansing System 2.0 and help the Cancer Patient Advocate Foundation to make some money so that we can fight more lawsuits, that we can create lawsuits in your interest and help more cancer patients that do not have the money to get really somewhere to get treated otherwise. The main thing is for me that you support Nazar. He is an honest, real person. He has real feelings for you. He really wants to help. He really cares. And there are not many people like him out there. Do not let him fight alone. Support him, donate, and do anything you can to keep his shows up. Send the link, Mustafa, for this video. Send the link everywhere when the video is out, and also go to my main website, drleonardcoldwell.com, doctor spelled out, leonardcoldwell.com. You get all the information about me you need there. If you want to have more input on me, my site 40yearsdrc.com will give you all the background of me curing cancer patients starting at the age of 12. Sounds weird, I know, but it's just the truth. And most of all, believe in yourself, believe in your instinct. Don't believe in mass media. They are getting paid. Why do you think most of the advertisement on TV are ads for some kind of drugs or the medical pharmaceutical industry? If the stuff would really work, it would sell itself.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't need to spend billions to advertise it all the time. And use your common sense, educate yourself, learn. Whenever you can, learn something. Whenever I'm in a plane, I'm reading a book or listening to an audiobook. Whenever I have a long drive ahead, I listen to an audiobook or read a book about a colleague. Like my friend and colleague, Dr. Tullio Simoncini, his book, Cancer is a Fungus, is fundamentally cured 800,000 cancer patients, provenly, with sodium bicarbonate, just alkalizing the cancer. And I have a new book coming out, and you can pre-order it soon on my website, and it's called Happy People Don't Get Cancer. And it will have all the knowledge of my 52 years of curing cancer patients, all the experience, all the successes, and everything I learned along the way. So, my dear friends, we all need to stick together. If we don't have each other, we have nothing and nobody. And I have created in my life a family, and I learned it's not the family you are born in that usually fits and works. It's the family you create along the way. Like Naza is for me a brother in the whole meaning of the word, and I will stick with him no matter what and forever, and I will do everything I can to support him or help him whenever he's in need. But most of all, my dear friends, I'm there for you too. You can write me to ibms at drleonardcoldwell.com. If you have any questions, ibms at drleonardcoldwell.com. And this email, my staff goes through it and everything I have to answer personally, I will. It might take a couple of days, but I will answer it. Get the BPO cleansing system, start the new year with a clean body. You cannot, if you have a bucket with dirty water, you cannot pour clean water in all the time and hope it will be clean. It's not. You have to pour it out, wash it out, and then fill it with clean water. The same is with your body. Cleanse it out completely, make it completely clean, and then restart with a healthy, good diet. And you will also see, I'm referring you to a couple of colleagues that I buy my products from, that I trust, and we all need to stick together. We're going to, and I'm sure NASA will be a part of it. We're going to have a worldwide conference via the internet about curing life. And I think that's very, very important, that if you understand, if you get your life cured, if you don't live in worries and in fears, without hope, then there is no illness. You can only get sick if you have lack of energy, and lack of energy comes from internal stress, mental and emotional stress, living in constant worries, doubts, and fears, making compromises against yourself. Write down, where in my life do I make compromises against myself? Where do I do something that I don't really want to do, and then stop doing it? And you're halfway cured, believe it or not. I have seen cancer patients getting cured within 12 hours. I had a cancer patient with 3 humongous tumors in her breast, and she was set to get surgery the next day. And she said, I come to you, can you give me some energy that I get well through the surgery? I worked with her. She comes back next day and says, that's a miracle. They think they changed by accident my x-rays. I have no tumors. They wanted to make the last x-ray before the surgery. They couldn't find the tumor anymore. I don't have tumors anymore. That was in 12 hours after she made the decision, I'm going to get divorced, because over 70% of cancer is caused by bad relationships, professional, private, even working in an environment where you get mobbed and you hate the job, and basically your job is killing you in the whole meaning of the word. And but also bad relationships are the main cause of a negative self-image, a main cause of lack of energy. And you can only get ill or die young if you have lack of energy. And cancer is a result of chronic, ongoing, permanent lack of energy. So get rid of the stress that makes you sick. Get rid of the toxins that make or keep you sick or in pain with the BPO cleansing system, championcleanse.com. And even if the website might not be 100% functioning today, it will be tomorrow or the day after. Hang on, keep there, stay there with us. And I wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas and the most powerful, positive new year you can ever imagine. Thank you, Nas, for your support and having me on again. It's always a delight talking to you, seeing you. You're a great guy.
Dr. Coldwell, I can't even express to you. I don't know. I'm hearing the echo for some reason. I don't know where it's coming from. Let me see. Maybe I can put. I cannot thank you enough for being so transparent, because a lot of people see you always. You're positive, you're looking handsome, you're stylish, and I know that you're always giving. You're always giving us motivation, you're giving us inspiration, but there's a real story, there's a real struggle behind. And Me and you both, we were born on January 28th, and like I gotta say it in a New York way, like we're crazy as shit, man. Like we don't know when to stop. Like, someone tells us you can't do this, you put us down. Like if we know internally that this is the right way to go, you're not gonna stop us. No matter what you do, you can blow us up, you can shoot us, and I was very young when I found out that there are certain families and certain dynasties and certain sponsors globally that have led the agenda, that have bought out the medical systems, that have bought out educational systems. Like I found out this at a very young age, and I started making music at a very young age. So I was always oppressed. I was all, thrown in jail and this and that. Not on a scale like you are, but on my own scale. And when I started to do this professionally, talking about media, I found out that shadow banning is very real. I found out that when you really trying to do something to give to the people, that you will be oppressed. I had a channel, a TikTok, and you had your TikTok banned also. I had a TikTok with like 6,000 subscribers, which is not big, but every time I would put a Dr. Coldwell a video, that they would try to take it down, whatever. But again, I've been blessed enough to do some of the most biggest interviews. I'm talking people that were on Joe Rogan, that were on Tucker Carlson a week prior, would come to our show. So what I'm trying to say is I had a contact to Tucker Carlson, to Joe Rogan. And what I found out is that unfortunately these people, because every time I would write them, contact Tucker Carlson or Joe Rogan, I wouldn't ask for myself. I would ask, can you get Dr. Coldwell on your show? That way more people can hear about it, because this is something that I know internally that we all need to hear. And of course, replies would be like, oh, let me think about it, or let me do. So I found out that even these huge voices, maybe they're being controlled, maybe that this or that, but that they're not on the same playing field that we are. So I want to ask you a last question, obviously for this year, and thank you for every single second that you gave. And I just want to tell people that, look, you see us on the screen. You don't know how much struggle goes into it, how discouraging it is, to do a big video, to edit it, to, put it in production, do all of these things. And then you don't get the return that you desire, that that you're being shadow banned, that you're being oppressed. It's very discouraging. I don't know how Dr. Coldwell, honestly, I don't know how you keep going. I know that your internal forces keep you going. But this, I know, Dr. Coldwell, for sure, that us as a humanity, we're coming into a new age. I know this for sure. And this is why the enemy is scrambling so much. This is why we are seeing all this war, all this destruction, because they are leaving, but they are slamming the door on the way out. This is exactly what's going on. I know that we are coming into a new, golden age of humanity, where people like Dr. Coldwell will become our new presidents, our new leaders, our new representatives. And I just want to say to all of you people out there, Dr. Coldwell, you give a lot of information for free, right? But people, please, if you have enough money to go buy something dumb for Christmas that you're going to throw out in 2 days, or your kids are going to throw out, you have like 20 copies of these things, they just remade it in a new way, then you have enough money to invest in yourself, invest in your health. You should want to support people like Dr. Coldwell. That I don't get it. It's like, oh, you know, sure, it's nice to get stuff for free, but why wouldn't you want to support someone that's doing this for you, that wants you to be healthy, that wants you to be in the right state of mind? Go spend that 30, 100, 200, $1,000, whatever you have, because this is going to make you a better person. This is going to make you healthier. This is going to make sure that your genetic lineage, that your kids can keep going. I read somewhere that the ancestors, 2,000 and 3,000 years prior, they used to look forward 7 generations ahead of themselves, worry about 7 generations. We're not even thinking about our next generation, man. It's like morals, ethics, everything has gone out the window. So if you have that money, go get that app, go get that book. The book, The Only Answer to Cancer, is mind blowing. It is transformative. It will change your life. Go get it. It's not, even if it's $1,000, $2,000, trust me, it's worth it. If it's $1 billion, it is worth it. But I'm sorry because I'm going on a rant. You gave me this energy. I want to ask you this last question, Dr. Coldwell. So this is what I want to know, and it's going to be like a four-sided question with artificial intelligence. And I don't know, somehow internally in my life, I found out then that intelligence is not the most important thing. I called it intuition. You call it instinct. Again, January 28th. Maybe I'm plugged into the same source that Dr. Coldwell is. But Western society, neoliberalism seems to be falling apart. So this is my question, Dr. Coldwell. What do you feel about artificial intelligence? Do you think that Western civilization is falling apart? How do we find the right kind of information? And with chemtrails, with everything like this, we're seeing the rise of like Shilajit and all of these new things. So a four-sided question, let me put it together again. What do you think about artificial intelligence? Is it going to take over? Is Western society falling apart? How do we find the right kind of information throughout all this garbage that's out there? And what should we look forward to in the 2026?
Prove to me that you are alive.